What is that? That's feminine. That's the micro shit. That's the lower level. Something is not in order to let us continue, which is what, as I see it, we're responsible for leading, the micro. The macro, I know this chick's compatible. I have told y'all, like from jump, from the dating, from the coming out of nowhere, amongst all the other women, and the experience to this point, even the places where I've told you, like, okay, if she is like this is gonna drop. Like, I saw some energy, I'm not fucking with that, I'm done with that. And in coming back to her with that, in containment, I never, nah, fuck that shit, but thoroughly communicated the fuck out of it, let her know the shit that doesn't work. And honestly, I won't even say needed to let her know. Each time I reserved back, like, hey, let's pause this, let's stop looking at this, she would come back talking about what she reflected on. So if you can get that, like going from modern Western woman not wanting to be agreeable and compliant, let me sit back and hold up on this value. I don't think we're going to move closer to this. Literally, actually, that was my language, my communication. Let's pause on the, we can enjoy dating, but let's pause on the any relationship building. Like, whatever this is right now is what it can be, but the future context, that's not working, or let's not get clear on this. And every time I've stood for that and literally been in the question of, because it's always, I put up the straight from the jump, I have needs. When I have needs, I'm going to need to get them met. She had insecurities about being able to satisfy me, being able to be secure as my partner. I knew, because I told the same thing to y'all when we met up in person, I know that her being secure in the relationship is what the concern is. And there was in discussion of it, the logic, yeah, I'm just uncomfortable with it, babe. Like, move on. Like, there's no argument there. Cool. And I let her work through and bring up the conversations she needed to bring up to clearly look at the logical facts of, okay, you're telling me we don't work. And stepping back on, we don't work. All right, so let's stop this. And each time, her coming back, her reflecting on herself, her changing the very words coming out of her mouth. And because that was the stuff that I called out. Bisexuality, threesomes, anal, like different whatever I'd want and need coming up and discussing, and where she'd flip on it. And the thing, I forgot where, you're talking about Ariana, right? Yeah, I love that, I'm all down for that, the masculine energy. But right now for this, like her boundaries are your boundaries. There was a point in it where her boundaries, who's willing to compromise, who's willing to yield, well, who the fuck is going to follow and who's going to lead ultimately. Like, I'm getting for myself as a 38-year-old man, like Lewis said it earlier, women will do anything that you want. If you show up and get that trust and lead them properly to the point where they're ready to choose, because to their discernment, that's the quality of women you're choosing. But if they're discerning to choose and follow you, that is their vote. Once they give that vote, they fucking trust you. If you've got the shit grounded, if you're shook foot about it, if you're uncertain, if you can't handle the questions or conversations, or if you can't get them secure in it, like I say, if you can't lead it, you can't have it. And the test is if you can keep that masculine leader, daddy-daughter frame. And I say this, having a twin flame, our fun is talking shit. Like, I'm always, even with Shay, like that's the roasting jokingly. She's alpha feminine, talks a lot of shit. We compete and go back and forth. And it's just that tweak of element to walk back in the room and, what'd you say? Take that bass out of your voice, like let her feel that presence and have her get all doe-eyed, that, like that playful flirtation of, and it is actually in the energy of. If you were always just level, always just plain, never exciting, never like shook shit up, no mystery, your feminine would get bored, stagnant. There's no excitement to that. If you didn't lay that dick down, like that's more of an experience. That is what feminine is drawn to. Add on the protection, add on the maturity, add on the containment, all of that. And they need that excitement. It's not a thug, it's that a thug is not controllable. A thug is not going by the system. A thug is not predictable. It's a little scary. It can't be too scary. You can't measure that. Let a grounded, mature, masculine man show up that knows how to shake that up and be unpredictable and give you